And this story is, this isn't going to be too much fun.
Well, again, they're not fun. It's fun to hear you tell the story about it. But like the stories themselves,
I don't think we've ever genuinely enjoyed ourselves when we're.
Are you fucking kidding me? I love this shit, dude. I just say that so y'all don't think I'm a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, we know you're a fucking psychopath. We know that not only you scored high on the test, but you lied about your score on the test, which I feel like automatically adds 10 points.
Agreed.
Who's here? Who here?
You better make yourself known right now, or I'm going to cut it off. If someone doesn't say something on the chat within 10 seconds, I'm ending the stream. 10, 9, 8.
Oh, God. I really
7,
hope somebody says hello.
6, 5, 4.
Oh, boy.
3, 2.
Oh, God.
1.
Where are people?
Fuck. I'm too much of a pussy to do what I'm saying.
Wait, are we the 3 people waiting?
No, I don't think so.
I posted it in the. Maybe I posted in the wrong.
No, you posted in Supremos.
Yeah, you posted to Supremos.
Maybe everyone's just over us.
Yeah, maybe. Yep.
I guess the 3 people that was loving us are now over us.
Well, it happens.
All right, tonight we are going to Santa Barbara,
California.
At first I thought you said Cinnabarbara, and I was like, we go into the movies?
They don't know what that is, Santa Barbara.
Cinnabar. R.I.P. Place is no longer around.
The one that
near us. Here. Oh. Thanks, Andalyn.
Andalyn.
God.
You were late, Andalyn. All right, tonight we're going to Santa Barbara, and we're talking about a family, a loving family, very loving family. The husband was a surf instructor.
Okay.
The man we're talking about tonight was a surf instructor, and he actually owned this school, the Love Water Surf School. As you see, this last post here, July 27th, 2021. So, and then that was the last post of this surf school Facebook page. Let me show you the family right quick we're talking about.
Okay.
Tonight we're going to Santa Barbara 2021, and we're talking about this lovely family right here. His name is Matthew Taylor Coleman.
Okay.
And then his wife is Abby Coleman. And then you have the 2 little ones. The oldest, 3-year-old, almost 3, is Kaleo. And the youngest, 10-month-old there, the daughter is Roxy.
Oh, I like that name.
So that's the family. What'd you say, Jen?
I said I like that name.
She likes the name.
They're gonna see her name in lights. It's gonna say Roxy. I'm pretty sure those aren't the lyrics, but it's from Chicago. You're welcome.
I was wondering if it had to do, they picked the name because of the surf brand.
Is that Roxy?
Mm-hmm. Roxy, yeah.
It's a,
I thought it was something else.
No, there's Reef.
No, I guess
there's Roxy. There's maybe
Billabong, Quicksilver.
Yeah, maybe Kaleo, maybe.
I showed you the family, the Coleman family. Matthew Taylor Coleman is the father. His 2 children, 10-month-old and 2-year-old. They're in their home in Santa Barbara, and they're packing for a camping trip. Matthew Coleman is a very successful surf instructor, and he's got his own surfing school, Love Water Surf. And the family, as you said, really nice-looking family, beautiful family. All the photos from the Facebook, you can see they're happy. Nothing to see here, but a very happy family.
Mm-hmm.
And they had planned to go on a camping trip. So they were getting ready, throwing all their stuff in there. They have a Mercedes Sprinter van.
Oh.
A camping van.
Oh.
And they were starting to pack it.
Was the Mercedes Sprinter the camping van, or they had a camping van and the Mercedes Sprinter van?
No, the Mercedes Sprinter is like a camping van. That's what people turn them into. They can't turn them into camping vans.
With like little kitchens and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, like remember...
Those
last
are
time when I saw them
expensive.
and we were like, oh, if we ever go live, you could turn this into like one of those.
They were planning to go on a camping trip. They were already packing up the Mercedes Sprinter van. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Abby is carrying down a sports bag down to the van, and the kiddos are running around getting their stuff together. And all of a sudden, Abby sees the Sprinter van pull out of the driveway. That's weird. Her husband had just randomly jumped into the Sprinter van and started pulling out. And she's just like in shock, like, what is going on? She texts and calls him, like, what are you doing? And then she realizes that the kids are with him too.
Oh boy.
And then she makes another discovery. Oh, wait. Okay, I don't know where he's going. This is crazy. He's not usually this spontaneous, but whatever. But she looked over and the kid's seat was still at the house. So now he's driving the Mercedes van with his 2 kids without a kid's seat.
Okay.
So she gets obviously worried. Now she's not going to call the police right away because she can figure this out herself. Like, where'd
they go?
Yeah,
or...
maybe he just went to the sports store to get something like bug spray or whatever. He forgot the kid's seat. Men, how they do. No big deal. Text, call. No answer from either.
Okay.
A couple hours go by and she is now really concerned. She has no doubt in her mind that the children are in any danger because, such a loving, doting husband. But she is getting worried. Where did he go? What is going on? A police officer came over and took the report, also tried to contact Matthew on the phone, but he's not picking up even for the police. The officer said, would you like further help? A missing person report? Like, what do you want to do? Mm-hmm. At this point, she refuses assistance because this is just one of those things. I don't believe my kids are in any danger, and he's probably going to be back, and we're going to get in
a big misunderstanding or whatever.
Big misunderstanding.
Yeah.
That was on the 7th.
Okay.
An SBPD officer, Santa Barbara Police Department officer Michael Chung, responded in the morning to the house on the 8th after the wife had called back to follow up, now frantic, saying that she needs to file a missing persons report because she still has not heard from her husband who just drove away with the 2 kids. Have you guys heard of this before?
I don't think so.
Is effing nuts so, but so. Officer Michael Chung comes over and he's helping her fill out the missing persons report. And all of a sudden he gets a bright idea. Hey, wait a minute. He's got an iPhone, right? Well, if you guys are on the same account, why don't you just go onto the Find My Phone and we can just track him and see where, obviously his phone's still on. It's not going to voicemail. He's not answering, but let's just see if we can track him and see where the phone's at. At that point, they were successful. They found the phone. They found the location of the phone. And I'm going to go here on Google Earth now. Keep in mind we were in Santa Barbara and I'm going to go to the location. I haven't been there yet.
What did you say the name of the police officer was?
Michael Chung.
So it wasn't Sean Spencer or Gus?
No, it was Michael Chung. What do you mean, Jen? What is that?
It's a reference to the TV show Psych, which is another good show, but it takes place
no one has seen that. The last show that you recommended, we have to watch the show. We had to pay for it.
I didn't know that because
it was like the worst fucking recommendation ever.
And I thought that I didn't think that you guys had to pay for it because I knew that you had Amazon Prime, but I didn't realize it was like a add-on to Stars.
No, we're still fucking paying that shit off.
He's teasing you. I have never seen the show Psych. I was like,
do you have Peacock? Because it's on Peacock.
We do not have Peacock.
This is where the phone showed up at. Calais Reforma 300.
Huh.
Well, that sounds...
Where's that?
Huh? What? What'd you say?
Where's that?
That water looks so pretty.
Well, that's in Tijuana.
Tijuana.
What's he doing down in TJ?
No one calls it TJ.
Yeah, they call it TJ in the OC.
Do they really?
Yeah. Such a great show.
They got Home Depot in Mexico? Waldo's, what is that? Taxi Libre. That means
free taxi.
Free.
Huh.
Cinepolis.
Like a movie theater.
Radio Shack. What the fuck? And it looks like it's thriving.
You can't tell, it's behind a bush.
It's still open though. Holy shit, they are far behind. I bet they still have a Blockbuster over here. All right, anyway.
No, the only Blockbuster I thought was in like Alaska
or Nebraska.
This is an open. This is an open air shopping center. That's what they call open air shopping centers.
Mm-hmm. Like the outlets.
They're nice, actually.
Kind of like that's what I was thinking. So on the 8th, a day after, the officer recommends the Find My Phone feature, and it pings. It pings right there in Tijuana in an open air shopping center.
It's in Bend, Oregon. The last Oregon.
Who says Oregon?
Tara.
Sometimes I do.
What's the last
Bend? Blockbuster.
Oh.
Thank you.
So I guess Alaska was kind of closer.
I think the second to last one was there, closed.
If I lived in Bend, I would open a store called Over.
I know you would. Thank you.
Or you would just
All
get
right.
you would get a walkie-talkie, and then when people asked where you were, you would say Bend, over.
Yeah.
The location showed his car. The location showed his phone on the 8th, a day after he left, at 2:24 p.m. at the open air shopping center in Tijuana.
Avocados from
The
Mexico.
next time,
It's really weird that he left and would take his kids to Mexico.
yeah, if I was to leave my wife, I would leave the kids.
That means the dogs.
No, he would take the dogs.
No, I'm taking the dogs. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next time we see Matthew Coleman is when he's returning from Mexico on the 9th at 1 p.m. at the San Isidro port of entry.
Comes back.
Without the
He
kids.
comes back. They look in the van,
Oh, shit.
no children.
Uh-oh.
The Custom and Border officers observe blood on the paperwork, the registration paperwork of the Mercedes Sprinter van. Immediately, the Mexico law enforcement was contacted and they were sent photos of the children as well. And they confirmed that these two children were not with Matthew Coleman, but they have seen these children before. A few hours earlier, 8 a.m., both kids were found in a ditch.
Oh, fuck.
From Special Agent Jennifer Bannon in a criminal complaint against Matthew Taylor Coleman, quote, I reviewed the photos of the two children and observed large puncture wounds in their chest cavities.
So what is going on here? Let me go to the ditch where these kids were found. This is a terrible story, by the way.
Yeah, we're getting to understand that.
It was 19 miles away from the hotel that he and his kids checked into, which is right by that mall.
Okay, it's kind of strange that they checked into a hotel when they were in a Sprinter van that would have been outfitted for them to sleep in.
Yeah, that is true. That's a good point. I didn't think of that.
Okay.
Early in the morning, around 6 a.m., a Mexican rancher named Roberto, and this is really sad, he finds both children dead, deceased, both wearing nothing but bloody diapers.
Oh, no.
Now, I want to talk about Roberto right quick because this is really sad. Even on his part, he's the one who found him. He works at the Rancho del Cielo.
Oh, Cielo. Like Sky.
What does that mean?
Sky Ranch.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess so. So I'm going to go there right now on the Google Earth. Let's see. Rancho del Cielo. Cielo. So, yeah, about 19 miles away. Did you see it going? They said it was 19 miles away. So this is kind of where the hotel is, and this is where they were found. They were found by a rancher. His name is Roberto. I was watching a video of him because think about it. I mean, he came across two kids, both under the age of 3, stabbed to death. He's going to be thinking about that every day of his life. This is him right here. He actually is carrying some makeshift memorial graves, as you see here. So he made it. This is the guy that found the kids. Very sad for him too, you know. This is where the kids were found right here. Can you describe this? I mean,
Middle
it's a
of
ditch.
nowhere.
The middle of nowhere.
Yeah, in the desert, I guess.
In a desert, in a ditch. Very sad story. Very sad how this happened, but it gets
How can it get worse?
pretty crazy. What doesn't get worse, well, it kind of does get worse, but Special Agent Jennifer Bannon is the one that takes the confession, and the confession is pretty simple. I drove my 2 children to Mexico. As far as the wife, Abby, worried about the car seat, which is awful in of itself. I mean, she was more worried about the car seat because that, in her mind, before she knew that her kids were dead, could have been the worst thing ever. So she is worried about the car seat. He didn't bring the car seat. He just put the youngest child, Roxy, the 10-month-old girl, in a box. And at 5 a.m. the next morning, they do check into a hotel that evening, and then 5 a.m. they wake up in the hotel room, and we actually see them. There's video of him and the kids going out of the room. They have all their bags, and they drive south on Descanso Road, and that's when Matthew pulls off the road near Rancho del Cielo and does this unspeakable act. After killing the children, he moved their bodies 30 yards away and, quote, placed them in some bush. The oldest was stabbed 17 times, as you read earlier from the special agent, quote, large puncture wounds in their chest cavities. She was stabbed 17 times, and the young girl, Roxy, not even a year old, was stabbed 12 times. Can you read the next thing from the special agent?
From Special Agent Jennifer Bannon, Matthew Coleman stated that he first killed 10-month-old Roxy using a spearfishing gun, piercing in the heart. Matthew described that Kaleo did not die right away, so that he had to move the spear around, thereby cutting his hand in the process. I later observed marks on his hand consistent with his statement.
So Jennifer Bannon says that Matthew Coleman stated that he first killed his 10-month-old Roxy using a spearfishing gun, and then he did the same to the 2-year-old Kaleo. All right. So why? Why did he do this?
It seems very random.
He drove then a couple of miles and discarded the spearfishing gun in bloody clothes near a creek in Tijuana. Matthew tells the special agent that he knew what he did was wrong. Quote, he knew it was wrong, but it was the only course of action that would save the world. So he drove down there. He drove the kids down there to that ranch, and he shot them both with a spearfishing gun multiple times. At the hotel, the video shows something really haunting. This is from People magazine.
You'll see mommy soon. Hotel guest recalls seeing Matthew Coleman hours before he allegedly killed his kids.
Oh, man.
So at the front,
look at those sweet babies. Oh, gosh.
In the front lobby, a guest hears Matthew tell the 2 kids that, quote, you'll see mommy soon. So there they are.
Poor babies.
This is a nice family. I mean, they make good money and they have pretty much everything they need. So what is going on? I just said that Matthew had said that he did it to save the world. What is he talking about there?
Lost his marbles.
He's in a cult.
Matthew explained that he was enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories and was receiving visions and signs revealing that his wife, AC, possessed serpent DNA and had passed it onto his children. He said that he was saving the world from monsters.
Okay, so this is, can you read this headline from NBC? There is news on this that just happened a few days ago, so that's why we're covering the case.
California dad killed his kids over QAnon and serpent DNA conspiracy theories, feds claim.
So,
what the fuck conspiracy theories are they? What do you mean?
This is him in the hotel. You see here, walking in the hotel, and he's only with one kid. He leaves the youngest in the room at one point, but then he goes back. You see this 2:54 a.m. They're actually leaving the hotel at that point, and that's when they end up in this ditch with a spearfishing gun.
You know what one of the sad parts about this story, or sad details, is that like the mom was worried about the car seat because in her mind, like, that was the most unsafe thing that could happen to them is that they're not properly secured. But like, little did she know that they were with like the most unsafe person.
Father.
Yeah.
That's
So, I mean, do you remember talking about that on headlines?
No.
All right. Well, there's more to it, more that has came out. But do you know what QAnon is?
Yeah.
We'll kind of go over it. So it's not like a religion, but it does have followers. It's like a non-existent entity, but there are followers to it.
Yeah, it's a bunch of conspiracy theorists that...
Yeah, I had to look this up. I've heard of it, but I didn't know what it was.
I've heard QAnon, and isn't it like ultra-right conspiracy theorists?
I think so.
No?
Usually, yeah.
Didn't they have something to do with the January 6th?
Yeah.
I will say that QAnon followers from this video, which you won't be able to hear because it's the damn iPad, but QAnon followers run for school board, local offices to spread conspiracy-based beliefs. So they are, these followers, it's kind of like a religion, they're followers, but here's basically their tenets, or at least where they got their start from. So we're talking about QAnon here. It started during the pandemic, and apparently it started because of the mask thing. During the COVID pandemic, the QAnon, which was just a conspiracy theory, I guess, and then a group formed around it, was hating on the mask because they thought they were a, quote, boon for child sex trafficking. They thought if the mask hid your identity, you remember Pizzagate? They were part of Pizzagate with the child sex trafficking in the pizza place. They also believe that pedophiles run the world. Hollywood elites are in this kind of cult or whatever, the Illuminati, so to speak, and they're running this huge child sex trafficking operation, and they also happen to be lizard people, like reptilians. That's what they're called.
Wait,
the QAnon shaman. That's right. Thank you.
The QAnon people are lizard people, right. Or that the celebrities are lizard people, and the elite,
the celebrities and pedophiles,
and the celebrities and the Hollywood elites.
Oh, yeah. Is that why there was that one video of like Mark Zuckerberg and that one clip where they say that he is a lizard person and like that?
Yeah. Well, I think that's a lot of people just think he's a lizard person.
Well, he actually did you see that video where he came out and he said, "No, I want to say that I am not a lizard person." But then someone took it and he's staring at the camera and all of a sudden his tongue goes out because a fly flies by and he snatches the fly.
This may be considered like baiting the conspiracy theorists, but I feel like only lizard people would need to come out and defend the fact that they are not lizard people.
I don't disagree with that statement.
Well, so I was kind of interested in the lizard people.
I remember that.
Well, so I remember in high school, I don't know if you ever like watched any or read any of David Icke's stuff, but he is like the first. He's like the grandfather of the reptilian theory. That was like his baby theory. But this has been around for a long time. The lizard people are an interdimensional race of reptilian beings called the Archons that have hijacked the Earth. A lot of people think the reptilians were here before we were here. These reptilians have created a genetically modified human Archon hybrid race. The hybrid race known as the Babylonian Brotherhood or the Illuminati are shape-shifting reptilians who control world events. Many world leaders, royalties, and celebrities are part of this reptilian elite.
So the Illuminati, the idea of the Illuminati comes from his theory, or is he saying that?
No, the Illuminati has been around. Illuminati is just basically the government, you know, or whatever, like the people who pull the strings.
Well, I know
I think that word has been around
but
before.
I'm saying, like, did the idea of the Illuminati come from because, or he's saying that the people that are in the Illuminati are the lizard people.
Yeah. The people in the Illuminati are the lizard hybrids.
Right, is what he's saying, but he's not the person that coined the term the Illuminati.
No, but he definitely coined this reptilian thing, because I remember talking about this in high school, dude. I mean, this was in the 90s when he was doing this, and he got on like national television, and he's pretty popular.
Well, with the confirmation of extraterrestrial life, is that what they're called now? I want to be politically correct so that I don't think you're going to offend them. So
what are you talking about?
So, like with extraterrestrials, we had the confirmation of extraterrestrials.
No, we never had the confirmation.
We have confirmation of UAPs.
Oh. With the confirmation of UAPs and the possibility that like there is extraterrestrial life, like maybe the idea of the lizard people isn't too far out.
That sounds like something a QAnon follower would say. Holy shit, you need to watch yourself, yo. I'm serious, dude. Like this shit. All right, let's just get in. This is fucking crazy.
Okay.
All right. Now, this isn't David Icke's fault. I wanted to know where the reptilian theory came from, and I thought it was him because he used to talk about it all the time, and apparently he's the one that really ran with it. David Icke claims that these reptilian beings originate from the Alpha Draconis star system and live in underground bases on Earth. He argues they manipulate human consciousness and feed off negative human emotions. That's his thing. There were some earlier influences. I'm just going to run through some of these. A 19th century mystic, Helena Blavatsky, wrote about an ancient race of dragon men in her 1888 book, The Secret Doctrine. That was the first thing that I found that has anything to do with this reptilian cult. Robert E. Howard's Conan the Barbarian, he featured reptilian humanoids, and some alien abduction narratives in the 60s and 70s also mentioned this as well. But most people think of David Icke as being like, the one who
the lizard
pushed
king.
it. Yeah, exactly. So this guy started following these conspiracy theories. Actually, can you read from the NBC?
From NBC, QAnon is a more recent conspiracy theory premised on the belief that similar global cabal at the top of the U.S. government is secretly murdering and eating children, and that Donald Trump was quietly working to defeat them during his time in office.
At the hotel, other people had seen Matthew and his 2 children just hours before they died. One of these hotel patrons said, quote, "They stood out to me because they were really good looking, and I wondered where the mom was. Quote, I just assumed that she was already down at the pool or something." According to this lady, nothing about his behavior seemed out of the ordinary. Quote, "He was talking to them, smiling, and it was normal to me. He said, 'You'll see mommy soon,' which is why I thought she was there with them, either at the pool or up in the room."
It makes me wonder, I don't remember if I said this or not because I thought it already, but like I wonder if that meant like he was planning, like if he was just saying that to calm them down, or if that meant that he had a plan to kill his wife as well.
I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Well, so here's the weird thing. He's killing his kids because they have serpent DNA given to them by Abby, his wife, but yet the wife was also buying into these conspiracies, which we'll talk about. I'm not saying the wife is guilty in any way. You know how a wife usually supports some of the husband's craziness, like you support me.
I'm surprised he said that, because I was going to say, like, Nicole supports you.
He said visions and signs revealed that his wife, Abby Coleman, possessed serpent DNA. Mr. Coleman mentioned that he was not sure if his wife was a shapeshifter and had passed it on to his children, and that all things were pointing to the idea that his children have corrupted DNA that will spread if something is not done about it. That was in the affidavit.
Don't like that.
Yeah, this is pretty terrible, man. Do you guys remember the Nashville bombing?
Vaguely.
No.
Okay, so I want to say, if a lot of people may be out on these conspiracy theories, dude, there's nothing wrong with believing in conspiracy theories and stuff, but I mean, I don't know, just get the fuck off the internet, like social media, read some Carl Sagan books or do something if you're starting to think like this. The Nashville bombing, which happened in 2020, was called the Christmas Day bombing. This is from NBC, the headline, and this has nothing to do with this case, but you know, it says feds probing whether Nashville bomber believed in lizard people conspiracy.
How is that even a headline? That's crazy.
Yeah, it seems like this theory, you know, and the QAnon thing is really dangerous, actually, because you got Pizzagate too. Remember Pizzagate? Mm-hmm. That was a big one.
I didn't even realize what Pizzagate was, because I thought that Pizzagate was about that one article that Shane Dawson wrote about Chuck E. Cheese.
Different Pizzagate.
No, I actually thought that same thing. I mean, it wasn't an article, it was a video.
Oh, whatever.
That was a crazy video.
Did you see the video?
Yeah, we talked about it on an episode, I think.
I didn't know he wrote an article, but
maybe
the video,
it wasn't an article. Maybe it was a vlog. I don't know.
The video showed the pizza coming out, and they tried to put it back in the circle, and it was
yeah.
Because the conspiracy is that Chuck E. Cheese was taking other leftover slices and building a new pizza.
Yeah.
He basically shut that place down, dude.
That was a very compelling video.
There's one in the neighboring town.
Yeah.
All right,
aren't you guys interested to see what conspiracy theories, like if we ever find out which ones are true and which ones are not? Do you think we'll ever find out?
Like, what's the conspiracy? Like, what's the big one?
John Benet Ramsey.
Like JFK. Well, that's not really a conspiracy. That's just like a whodunit. Okay, well, like JFK.
Yeah, JFK.
I mean, even RFK believes that he was assassinated.
I mean, he was assassinated. That's a fact.
I mean,
that's not really.
But not by Harvey Lee Oswald. I was about to say Harvey, that guy from Family Feud.
Steve Harvey. Oh, geez, you can't say that Steve Harvey killed JFK, because that's going to set off a QAnon conspiracy.
Shit, we should pair that with some TikTok trend, some challenge.
Please not. Can we keep going here?
Around 9:24 that morning when he left, August 7th, 2021, when he just leaves with the kids, right after that at 9:24 a.m., authorities say that Abby texted her husband, imploring him to take care of their children.
Oh, boy. "We're doing this together, babe," she wrote, "praying for clarity over you and your mind this morning. Everything you've believed and known to be true is happening right now. I'm partnering with you from Santa Barbara. Let's take back our city. The gateway of revival for the state of California and the nation and the world. You were created to change the course of world history. Take care of my little giant slayer and the voice of heaven's dove. They sure are special. What the fuck?
I haven't read that yet. They should throw her ass in prison too.
Yeah, she knew. She knew what he was doing there then.
I didn't read the exchanges yet. Hi, babe. Miss you too. Things have been rough, but starting to get some clarity as well. Still confused on a lot of things, though, and processing through them. So many crazy thoughts going through my head right now. Hard to explain.
So he was replying to her.
In the affidavit, in the indictment from the special agent, it says they weren't. And she refuses. She refuses. Remember I said the police came over that night on the 7th when the kids...
she didn't want to file something.
When the kids were alive. The indictment said she refused any further help from the police until the next day. They should throw her fucking bitch ass in jail too.
Yeah, she's in on it.
And she's got
that text message is very clear.
She's got a GoFundMe account with like $100,000 in it. They should throw her fucking ass in jail too. Fucking bitch. All right, the next one says... Yeah, funny. She says, yeah, funny you're getting some clarity through my grandma's old Bibles, he continued. Wasn't there too? Anyways, was actually still thinking of burning them in case there's a chip in them or something. Going to keep processing through everything and hope to get some answers. Hope all this craziness ends soon. Love you.
Like, this is real life. People actually believe this. I can't. That's crazy.
I know. Isn't that nuts?
Like,
it's fucking crazy.
At first, I thought you were talking about the Bibles. He was talking about burning the Bibles. But then I realized he wasn't talking about burning the Bibles. He was talking about burning his children. The kids. Because
here's
they have a chip in them.
All right, here's the thing, dude. Like, fucking conspiracy theories have been around forever. But all this fucking TikTok, social media, fucking horse shit is confusing people so fucking much that they don't know which way is up and which way is down.
That's why I think that
they have no fucking idea.
Would be a good idea. I just don't have time for it.
They have no idea who they are, where they fit into this world. They're getting all these fucking mixed messages from people. Dude, if you ever listen to one thing I say, if you don't listen to anything I ever say, listen to this. Get the fuck off social media, and that means all of that shit. All of it. All of that fucking shit. Ain't that right?
Yeah.
This is kind of like a headlines case, right? So I'm doing this because it's in the headlines. So August 10th, we talked about that, 2021, Santa Barbara man charged with killing children in Mexico. September 14th, 2021, California dad killed his kids over QAnon and serpent DNA conspiracy theories. That's when the feds first claimed that. September 9th, 2022, a year after surfer killed his kids, members of his church fear more violence. This is from Vice.com.
So they're referring to the QAnon, and they're not talking about like his church back at home?
The Vice is saying that the church is under fire. I really think that the church let this family down, let these children down, and it should be a clarion call to all churches within the Santa Barbara community that if this can happen to a loving, beautiful young family that was really entrenched in the cultural aspects of Santa Barbara, it can happen anywhere. That's from Vice News. Okay, the next headline was from June 30th, 2023. Feds want to medicate Santa Barbara man so he can stand trial for the killings of his two young children. They were going to force medicate him.
Is that, like, I've never heard of that. Is that even legal? Like, because if you have to be medicated in order to stand trial, like, wouldn't that say that you're not fit to stand trial?
I don't know.
And I'm not necessarily a proponent for that, especially after his crimes, but like, wouldn't that be an argument?
His mental health, this is 2 years later, his mental health has obviously been shooting downhill. At the time of the killing, he qualified to stand trial because he knew what he was doing and he knew the difference between right and wrong. That's the two qualifications. Yeah. He knew what he was doing, even though it was fucking crazy. He still went through it. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he knew right from wrong. He told the special agent, which is why she asked him, do you know right from wrong? Yes, I knew killing my children was wrong. He said that. But now he's so fucked up in his own head that he can't even stand trial.
Maybe because he killed his children? Like, that might do it to you.
They considered involuntarily medicating Coleman under Washington versus Harper 494 U.S. 210 1990, but an administrative hearing officer thought he did not seem gravely disabled or a danger to himself or others in custody, and he did not satisfy Harper's criteria. While in custody in 2022, he cut himself with a razor, dove headfirst into a toilet, punched himself in the face, and slammed his head into the floor.
Well, he belongs in a toilet because he's a shitty person.
Yep.
Okay, here's another one. From March 2nd, 2024. This is from the New York Post. Matthew Coleman, accused of killing his 2 kids over QAnon conspiracies, still doesn't realize they're dead. That's crazy. August 29th, 2024. Yesterday is why I'm doing this case. Another headline. New York Post. Matthew Taylor Coleman, alleged QAnon killer dad, tried to mutilate himself in jail. So crazy.
I wonder.
Crazy.
I wonder if it's because of his guilt or if he believes that like the lizard people are getting to him. Like
he still doesn't know that his kids are dead. That's what from March 2nd, 2024, from the New York Post. It says Matthew Coleman, accused of killing his two kids over QAnon conspiracies, still doesn't realize they're dead. He talks about them in present tense sometimes. There are times that he just doesn't seem to grasp that they're gone. Here's what a lot of people are thinking. But schizophrenia, supposedly, this is the time a lot of people get it, is right before they hit 40 or, 38 to 40 or whatever. They start getting schizophrenia. So a lot of people are thinking that he has full-on schizophrenia fueled by these QAnon craziness.
Yeah,
and
it could be now paranoid schizophrenia, and now he's having the hallucinations and delusions.
Yeah, so he's like going downhill. So he did know that he killed his kids that day, but now the schizophrenia is basically taken over because he's not being medicated, as we just read. He doesn't take medication, so he's just letting this thing eat his brain.
Oh my gosh, it's like Shutter Island.
That was a great movie.
It's just like crazy. Shutter Island, but without the reptile people. I'm gonna go back and watch that now.
This is nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can you even believe this shit?
I find it interesting that, so it does say that in the article where you had the text messages, that like the wife's text message was like taken out of context and she is still processing. Has second guessed everything and now realizes that some of the theories weren't even close to being true, and that she has a lot of anger towards Matthew. So it's like, well, was she like, it sounded to me like she knew what was going on.
Yeah. So in the freaking in the special agent's indictment for Matthew Coleman, it specifically says that Abby refused any police help the day that he left. She did call the police. They did try to contact him, but then she said, "No, my kids aren't in any danger. I refuse any help." And then that time could have saved the kids because it would have been, another 12 hours they had alive.
Yeah.
But now they're dead thanks to this fucking crazy ass world we live in.
I wonder if any like research can be done on his brain and say, you know what, it's an interesting thought, and I don't know if they thought about this, but because they were part of the QAnon, and they, you were talking about how it came from the QAnon and the masks were things, they probably weren't wearing masks, right? So I wonder if like he caught COVID and there was a change in his brain.
That's a really excellent point, because I kind of thought that too, but not with COVID. You remember, if we go back, he's a surfing instructor. Mm-hmm. In my mind, I was like, maybe there was some waterborne freaking bacteria, parasite or something that went into his brain.
Maybe he like, is there any history of brain injury from surfing? And maybe it could have been like TBI or something.
Could be. That's interesting.
Yeah, but that's really interesting that you said that. But honestly, reading the stuff, in my personal opinion, and like I said, I could only take so much of this case. At this point, I don't think he's faking it. At this point, like, he is full on crazy. Like, he's gone.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, right? He had a great life, a great family, wife, and he was a surfing instructor, very active, very well loved. I mean, you saw him; they were beautiful people, and then all of a sudden, it's just like a light flipped or something. I don't know, man. It's nuts, right?
Yeah.
Because if you all right, let's say he was just wanting to get rid of the kids for whatever reason, dude. You could do anything. You could drown them or whatever. I know it sounds terrible, but taking a spear gun to a 10-month-old and shooting them over and over and then twisting it with your arm, that you have got to be completely out of your fucking mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if anyone could do that and not just be a complete freaking psychopath. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy. This story is nuts.
Yeah.
It's crazy we didn't hear about it.
No. But then again, we are told to stay away from,
Yeah.
true crime stuff, unless we're talking about it on headlines.
All right. Thanks for being here, guys. And we'll see you tomorrow for more headlines. So until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.
Kind of run this shit.